Okay, can you see my screen now? I'm on my web browser. Okay. First and foremost, for you to start up with your Power Platform. Now, I said you should go to office.com. Once you get to office.com, you should load up the home page for us. Now, the task we're going to be trying to do here this morning or this afternoon is that we want to create our very first application. But how are we going to create our very first application is that you can easily start from any means, which could be from an Excel, from a form, or from anywhere. But the case study I'll be using as example is that, take for instance, you have a registration form and you want people to fill it in, like fill in the registration form. Now, for this course, I had a form that I had everybody to fill, but once you fill it, an email will be sent to you. Let's start off by doing that. Then also that form we can use Power Automate to create that same form that still does the same thing. So quickly, the first thing you want to do is to click on this ribbon here and click on forms. You should see form, but if you can't find it, you can also search for it here on the search bar here. You click on forms. We're going to be creating a new form. I have a lot of form here. Yours will be likely empty, but you can just click on the top where you see new form. Now, what it does is that we're going to create a very simple form, maybe just a simple form to collect by data information like first name, last name, email address, phone number, something like that. That's what we're going to be doing. We'll create our very first form, then we'll now try to automate it. Okay, now the form. Let me possibly change this. Okay, now it's here. Where it says untitled form, you can say class tests. Okay, let me go with class test reg. That is just for the class test. Then if you have a description, you can add it. Then the first thing we want to do is to ask a question, and they will supply answers, which is going to be a text. So I could ask something like first name. Okay, I think I have somebody trying to join. Let me just quickly accept that person. Okay, we have first name. We have the other one that says maybe last name or the surname. Last name. Then we have that maybe I want to ask for the agenda. Now take note that agenda, maybe want to do it as a multi-choice. You can decide to do your gender as you could decide to do your question as a multi-choice. So you can say multi-choice. Then you could say gender. Now, once you type gender, it gives you some options. Maybe I would just say you should add all. You may decide to do yours by customizing it, by writing male, female, or the likes. But if you want to go with the options they have here, it is also fine. You can just say add all. Now it gives that, and then finally I want to take in their email address. So I will say email address. Now I think that should be okay for now. And once you do that, now what will happen is that you can automatically, this form is accessible to anyone. So you have to come to collect response. Make sure you change this to everyone so that you can easily share that with anybody. Then once you do that, it's easily accessible to anybody. Then now the next thing we're going to be doing is that I'm coming back to my office.com, and I will search for, because we want to automate it, I'll search for Power Automate. I'll search for Power Automate now. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, I'm coming, please. I guess I have somebody trying to join in. I just want to try, and I'll share you back this. Yes. Okay, it's fine. It's like we are good. Sure. Okay. Can you see my screen now? Yeah. Okay, you see me, I'm trying to search for Power Automate. I just typed in from the second option here, you can search for, you can click on Power Automate. What this does now is that it's taking you to the Power Automate environment for you to create your flow. Your flow is it's what is going to connect, maybe when they fill those responses, it will automatically send an email to them like, congratulations, your registration has been submitted, or congratulations, you get feedback from us very soon, something like that. Now is the Power Automate you use to do something like that. Trying to load that here now. It's still loading. Once it loads, we'll start that. Doing it to your organization or to specific people within your organization. But if you say to everyone, that means anybody can fill the form, and it will get triggered. So that's what I wanted to point out today. Okay, I don't know why this is taking a lot of time, but I guess it's the network. Okay, okay, we are here now. This is the Power Automate environment, and all you just have to do, hope you can still hear me, you click on create. Once you click on create now, you know this is going to be happening automatically. That is when the response, when a user fill in this form, that is when they supply answers to this form, that is when this that form triggers this flow. So we're going to be creating a cloud, an power automated cloud flow, because it's anytime it is filled, then we can still name our form. We can name our form as the class tests flow. We can name that. Then the trigger, how trigger works is that is the trigger that allows a user, is the actual thing that makes the flow run. That is what makes the flow to start. That is, and in this case scenario, it is when a new response is submitted. Now, in some other cases where we'll be discussing later, is when an item is added to SharePoint and so many other case studies. But the first one is when a response is submitted via a form. So you click on that action and you say create. Once you do that now, it's creating the first action card. We wait for that to come up now. Okay, this this network, please. Sorry, it's currently loading. I don't know what's wrong with the whole network of the around here. Okay, now the first thing here now is saying that when a new response is submitted. Now I want to make some quick introduction to something I call the action card. Now at every step is more or less like a step-by-step process of doing something. There is always an action card. The first action card here is that when a response is submitted. Now it's asking for the form ID. The form ID could be the form name that we created. And here our form name is, sorry, this should be class, please. Sorry, this should be class. Class test reg. That is the name of the form. So, or the ID of the form. So if you click on this drop down, it should automatically load any form you have. So I'm going to scroll down to where I have the class test reg. I'll click on that. Now, what that does is that you have already told it the form you want it to get to go to. Now, the next thing you will do is to add another step. Another step could be getting the details out of this form. That is where we have an action card called the get form details. Get form details. Okay, it's loading. There's an action called the get form details. Now, what this does is that it allows you to, after telling it which form you want it to get response to, you have to use the action card called the get form details to get out the actual response the users supplied into the form. Okay, I don't know why it's delaying. Okay, let's see, get items. Okay, let me just search for forms. I can find it within the list. You can search for forms. Once you search for forms now, it brings out every actions within the form. Okay, this is it. They've changed the triggered name. It used to be get detail. Now it's get response details. So this is, you click on the get response details. Now what this does is it actually confirms the name, that is the ID of the form, which you click here. Then it also confirms the body tag of that is the body responses of the email, which here there's what we call the dynamic content. The dynamic content, you know, multiple people will be filling that form. Now, as multiple people will be filling it, now this dynamic content allows you to collect as many responses as you want. So you click on it. Once you click on it now, that means any response that is being supplied by the user into the class test reg, it will get it as a response, as a unique response. Now, the next thing is that we can now say we want to send out an email to anybody that fills that form. So the next action card is going to, we'll click on new step. Then we can use you type for Outlook. Now, once you search for Outlook, you should see, you could send with also your Gmail, you could send with any, it also allows Gmail, but we are going to be using Outlook in this case study. You could search for Gmail. Gmail too is here. I don't know why it's taking time. You may want to send all those responses via your Gmail account or through the Outlook account. So we're going to just be using the Outlook account. Now, I want to, once you click on the Out Office, you make sure you click on the Office 365 Outlook. Then what you want to do is to send an email. You send an email using the V2 version. Send an email using the V2 action. So you click on this. Once you click on it, now what it's asking you is, to who do you want to send this email to? Now, within our form, we ask a question that says email address. So we want to pick it that whoever fills this form, whatever email address is supplied to this column is what we are going to supply to the two attributes for the email. So now you see where it says, you could see this arrow here, you click on it. Once you click on it, you could see where it says email address, just as we have it in our form. So now you click on the email address. Once you click on the email address, now the next thing is asking for the subject. You could say hello. Then since we know that they submitted their first name or their last name, you could call their first name dynamically. Dynamically means that you just pick it up. You could say hello first name. So whatever is supplied as the first name into this form will be dynamically picked as hello, something like that. Now for the body, I'm going to keep it very simple first. I'm going to say your name. I'm going to say something like your name is, then I'll put the first name, then a space, then I'll put the last name. If you can't find it in the option, you can search for it. You can search for that. Okay, what do we have it here? We have it as last name, so we can search the dynamic content as the last name. Okay, or let's just keep it simple, very simple. Your name is this, okay, and your gender is, you supply the gender, and finally you say your email address is, then you supply in the email address. Once you do this, now let's just assume that this is the email we want to send out as a confirmation to the person who filled this form. So all you just have to do after taking these three steps, now these three action steps, what you need to do is to save this your flow. At the top hand side here, you see save, or below here you can also save. Now it's currently it says your flow is ready to go. We recommend the test. Now under here you can see where you also have a save. You can also use that if you don't want to use the one at the top most here. Now we are going to do a test on this to see how it works. So now I'm going to click on test. Once I click on, you're going to do a manual test. Why a manual test? Because a user has to manually fill that form before the trigger, before it triggers that allows this flow to run. So we are going to do a manual test. After we'll click on, you select manual test, then you click on test. Once you do that, now this should ask you that you should go ahead. He said to see it work, submit a new response to the selected form. That is what is written up here. So let's come here now. Copy. You can come to collect response. Now this is the link to, you can shorten it. This is the link to the response form. I'm going to copy it, then open a new tab, then paste it in and go. Now what this does is that it gives me this nice form like this. Just assume you send it to your client or to anybody to fill. Now I'm going to fill in my details, gifts, then I have questions here. Okay, maybe this was a mistake here. Let's just say hello. Just don't mind me for that. Then I'm going to select my gender as a man. Then I'm going to type in my email address. Gift Ahmed 2 at Gmail. I want to show you that my Gmail too, it can also send to my Gmail at gmail.com. Now this is my email address, and once I submit now, what happens is that this flow runs. It says your flow is running. Now you just wait and see. It says your flow ran successfully. That means whenever a new user submits another response, this flow automatically runs. Now I am waiting for the confirmation, but nevertheless, let's head over to my email address. This is my email that is just supplied in just now as giftahmed2@gmail.com. This is the email address, giftahmed2@gmail.com. Now I think if I refresh my browser, I should get a new email coming in now. Wow, look at the first email here. Now says hello gift, because I dynamically picked the name. Now let's open the email. It says your name is Gift, your gender is man, your email address is this, just as I filled the form from here before submitting just now. So that is this way you can create an automated cloud flow, such that when a response is filled within a form, it automatically sends an email to the correspondent of that email. So I don't know, hello, if you can still hear me, if you can still, okay, if you can still hear me, at this point, did you understand or did you get it to this point? Because I want to take it step further. You got the processes where I try to create my form. That means maybe we should try another one, whereby I fill in, I'm not going to send, let me just send Ahmed as this first name. I made this actually this optional. Then I could say maybe a female. Then I send to my email address. Okay, gift Ahmed 2 at Gmail. Okay, what I will do is that I'll pop in this, I'll copy this link and pop it in the chat now. If you are on your browser, you can try and fill the form so that you check your own email too and see this in action. So I'm going to be popping this, I'm going to be dropping it in the chat box, in the chat session now. So let me see. So I'll drop in the link now. Now you can also try and fill that form with your own details and check your email and see the flow work. Okay. Yes. I don't get the response. You know, ordinarily I'm sending this to the person who filled the form. Yes, randomly to the person who filled the form. That is more or less like sending, you know, maybe you are working in a digital market strategy, whereby once the clients or the users fill in a form, you have to send an advert to them via their email instantly. This is a case study of where you can apply what we are trying to learn here. Do you? Yes, sir. Yes. No, okay, to get the responses that the user feel. Okay, if you you as the creator of the form, you have access to that. If you see at the top right hand side of my form, it says responses or response 1. So if I come in here now, I have only one response and I can see it. But in another sense, we can still use Power Automate to get this response to save in an SQL database or in a SharePoint or in a Dataverse, whereby the organization wants their response not to be saved on the form alone, but also maybe on the organization server. In that case, you also have to do another flow that will pick the response. Instead of sending it to the user, rather it stores it in the database. I don't know if you get my point now. So that's another. Okay, that's yes. Anybody. Yes. Form. Yes. Office.com. Yes. On that form. Okay, let me see. You have to go to forms. You have to search. If you go to office.com and you search for forms now, forms, you in your own, you know I have plenty here, but in your own you should get only one, which is this new form you created. So okay, or let's just go to home. Now you see within quick access, you have quick access. The last 16 minutes ago was when we created this form. So once you click on this form now and you want to see the people that have responded to it, you just have to come to these responses. When you click on responses, you can see the number of people that have responded to it. And if you need it as an Excel file, you can just say open in Excel. What this does is that it automatically downloads this all the responses that the users have submitted into an Excel file that you can access. I don't know if you get my point now. So it opens up an Excel file. So if you say open as an Excel, you see I have only one responses, which is the first one I submitted. Gift, hello, man, and my email address. You get that in an Excel sheet automatically.